What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with my college football week 13 preview and picks. In this one, I don't have Ty joining me here. Thanksgiving week, busy weekend, so obviously you can see why. But before I jump in, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below to be entered into our giveaway at 500 subscribers. We'll look at last week's results. Ty got the better of me, and just by one game. The Clemson UNLV picks proved good for him, and then everything else, obviously, we had mostly the same. As we jump in to this week's games, Iowa, Nebraska currently going on right now. And we both took Iowa here on the road. I don't know why they weren't favored coming into this one. That over under probably going to hit. I mean, you probably got to go the under here in this one because Iowa can't score and they don't let anyone score. It's probably got to go with the under there. But we're both going with Iowa here on the road as they'll face the winner of the Michigan-Ohio State game next week in the Big Ten Championship. And in a big game in the American Conference, Tulane, UTSA, whoever wins this, going to the American Championship game. And we're both going with Tulane here. I think Michael Pratt and company are going to get it done at home. It's a big game for them, their biggest of the year. And if they win this game, more than likely there is a really good chance that they're going to be going to a New Year's Six Bowl yet again. In the last game of Friday night, Oregon State, Oregon. A big game for Oregon. If they win this one, obviously they win the rivalry game, but they are going to go to the Pac-12 championship and face Washington if they win, obviously, again. Or they will face Washington, in the Pac-12 championship with this win here. Oregon has to get it done here on Bo Nix. Then the biggest game of the year for college football, 2 versus 3. Whoever wins this game, the chances of them going to the playoff through the roof. Whoever loses, outside looking in, need a lot to happen. And obviously, both of us being Michigan fans, got to go with Michigan here at home. I like Michigan. I like Blake Corum touchdown. It's going to come down to quarterback play in this one. And the more proven quarterback has been J.J. McCarthy, even though he hasn't shown it the last 2 weeks where they've really went run heavy. I think this is a game where he gets back to his old ways, starts lightening up through the air. Michigan wins by a touchdown. Then also for the SEC fans, Texas A&M, LSU. Good game for both these teams, but I think we both think LSU and Daniels are just going to dominate Aggies here. LSU can finish 9-3, go into a bowl game, possibly get another 10-win season. Would be good under Brian Kelly in his second year. 2 10-win seasons off the rip, always a good start for that. But LSU, obviously not the season they wanted as they were looking to get into the playoff this year. And in a big game, a big rivalry game, Kentucky versus Louisville. Louisville still has a lot to play for. If they win this game, move to 11-1, beat Florida State in the ACC championship, there's a case for them to possibly sneak into the playoff, even though they did lose to Pitt. Their one loss this year, very ugly loss. And I get it, it happens. But for this game in the rivalry, Louisville is the team to beat right now. And Kentucky, well, kind of a mediocre year and a down year for them. At 3:30, you got the Iron Bowl. And I'm going to probably go with Auburn spread here, 14 points. I just think that's a lot of points in a rivalry game on the road. Bama has been very good, though, to their credit. Nick Saban's turned this team around since that loss to Texas. Jalen Milroe has looked excellent. And I think Bama gets the win here, but Auburn's going to cover. Then at 7, the Battle of Florida, Florida State, Florida. FSU only favored by 6.5 because Jordan Travis obviously out for the year now. So now it's going to come down to Tate. If Tate can get, 2 passing touchdowns through the air, I think Florida State's production is going to love that. He still has his receivers, Keon Coleman. He's got Trey Benson in the backfield, so he still has some weapons around him. For Florida, they've been up and down, but if they need to win this game to get to a bowl game, so they're still playing for a lot, not just the rivalry, but also a bowl game as well. 7:30, obviously another rivalry, Clemson, South Carolina. And yet again, Clemson looking to beat the rivals, get to 8-4, not a year they were expecting, but they'll take it if they can beat their rival. Well, South Carolina, they need this to get into a bowl game just like Florida. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's probably going to be a close game just because that's how rivalry games work. And then at 8, Iowa State, Kansas State. I think this is a trap game. I think Iowa State could go in there and possibly squeak out a win here. And if that's the case, they're going to win this one 20-17. So hit that under if you think Iowa State's going to make this one a close game. I believe in the under in that one. If Kansas State comes out, shows their dominance in the first quarter, then that over is probably going to hit. I think Kansas State can put up 30 on this Iowa State defense, but it just comes down to which team shows up in the first quarter. Then you have the battle, North Carolina, NC State. Who's going to win this one? We're both going with NC State here at home. North Carolina's kind of fallen off these last few weeks where NC State is climbing the mountain back up to the top. And obviously you can see North Carolina fell out of the rankings. NC State enters, and NC State's going to keep it rolling here, beat a very good North Carolina team, move to 9-3 with a chance at possibly getting 10 wins in a bowl game. And that's going to be it for our Week 13 preview and picks. And yeah, we had them all the same this week. I'm sure it's not going to be the case next week for the championship games. But make sure you guys come back next week to see who we take in those games and to see how we did this week. But until the next time, the Bench Buddies are out.